Here is the musical instrument I invented. It's called the glide, and it sounds like this. I want to tell you why I spent years building and refining a new instrument, what problem I wanted to solve, but before I get into that, I need to talk about existing instruments. Roughly speaking, you can divide musical instruments into noisemakers and note makers. The noisemakers are the percussion instruments, the drums, shakers, cymbals, the sound effect generators. Let's put all of those aside for now. Let's just look at the note makers. These are everything from tubas to accordions to slide whistles to stylophones, etc. You know, they make notes. Now let's divide the note makers into two categories, which I'm calling keyed instruments and sliding instruments. The majority of note makers are keyed, where you press a button or cover a hole or use a fret to make sure that you play the note or notes that you want. Pianos, clarinets, trumpets, mandolins, recorders, guitars, and a bunch of others fall into this category. They are very precise. Press a button, get a note. Most keyed instruments are also designed to give you a little bit of wiggle room so you can fine-tune a note or add some vibrato, but for the most part, the note you key is the note you get. On the other side, you have the sliding instruments, such as the trombone, the theremin, the classical string section like viola, violin, cello, double bass, and importantly, the human voice, which is kind of the gold standard of expressiveness. Sliding instruments don't automatically have the level of precision that keyed instruments do, and you have to practice them a lot more in order to do the things that keyed instruments can do easily. But the trade-off is that they can be more expressive. In other words, sliding instruments are very musical, but finding the exact note you want can be tougher. If you don't believe me, ask a singer to sing a G sharp, then ask a pianist to play a G sharp. The level of expertise required for each one is very different. So when it comes to instrument design, here's the problem. Sliding instruments are very expressively flexible, but are difficult to play precisely, and keyed instruments are easier to play, but aren't nearly as tonally flexible. So what was my solution to this problem? Basically, make a keyed instrument that splits up the sliding part and the fine-tuning part into different hands. With the glide, you use your fingers to choose notes just like a keyed instrument, and then use one arm to, glide between these notes. With your other arm, you can do vibrato and fine-tune the pitch. You aren't limited in expression by the keys, but you also don't have the difficulty of finding notes like on a typical sliding instrument. And what's even better, the glide has a larger sliding range than nearly all sliding instruments and can do fine pitch adjustment more easily than almost all keyed instruments. It really is the best of both worlds. So if you want a musical instrument that is really expressive while also being pretty simple to play, check out my other videos. You can email me or you can go to theglide.com for a lot more information. And please let me know what you think in the comments. I love to hear what you have to say. Thanks.